Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I do have the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander G.I.Joe classified series from AliExpress. Now this is funny because even when it comes to something that's from AliExpress and something that a lot of people are calling the knockoffs, some collectors in the classified community are still willing to argue about it, and they say that this is not a knockoff but a factory defects that Hasbro just kind of threw away. I'll probably talk about more on knockoffs and all that stuff later on, but here we do have the packaging and we do have that sleeve there, and so as you can see there, it looks very nice. It's very regal and very Cobra Commander-y. The side here, you have some nice detailing with the Cobra there and all that stuff. The front there, very stylized art of Cobra Commander, and then the same on this other side. And this was number 60 in the series. It was a Pulse exclusive, which I unfortunately canceled at the time. I just didn't have the money for it. And now they're on AliExpress for about 20 bucks. So whether this is a defect from the factory or not, it's still very cool to, take a look at it. But yeah, there it is, the box without the sleeve on top. And then it does open up like we've seen with other, exclusives. And mine is kind of beaten up, it's AliExpress. You get what you pay for. But there it is, fully open, and there's the figure itself, presentable and all that stuff. Behind it, you get a cool looking throne there with the Cobra on there. And then we do get Cobra himself and all the accessories. Let me take them out and then we'll, compare whether this is a knockoff and all that stuff, quality, accessories and all that stuff, compared to what we already have as the other original Cobra Commander from Classified series. Now, in terms of accessories, we do get the little paper here, so kind of makes it official and makes those figures that these are just defects a little bit more real. But let's take a look at what we do have here. Now, I don't remember what this specific Cobra Commander came with, but we do have 2 extra hands, which we've seen before with the original Cobra Commander, a fist and a pointing finger. And then we do get the sphere or the world, in the sphere so that he can hold, and it looks pretty good. The countries, let's see if we can get in there and look at some countries. I believe that's Africa there. And yeah, it's not the greatest world map on there. South America, the Americas are done well. Africa and Europe, yeah, like North America kind of just sticks with Europe up over there. There's Australia, then there's the South Pole. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, there that is. Some nice little detail going on in there. We do get this kind of staff. I don't know what to call it really, but some nice detail. And then the Cobra there at the front, very nice, and it is in this gold color. I don't know if it's painted or just molded in this gold color, but there's that. We have the sword, which is badly bent, and then just like we've seen before, the nice Cobra sculpt on the handle there. We get some red there, and then the rest is gold. I'm gonna see if I can straighten that out. And then we do get a more vintage looking gun for Cobra Commander here. As we can clearly see, here's a vintage Cobra Commander. There's the pistol, so yeah, very cool to see. And yeah, that's all we get for accessories, but for the most part, the fists feel the same, and they are a bit tighter on this one. Kind of scared to move them and break it. You can see that moves pretty well there. The hinge, which is the fist, is kind of tight in there, and it's been sitting in my car for a bit, so it's kind of hot in there. and yeah, I can't get it to move, so that's a bit unfortunate. And the only other accessory that I can really compare is the sword, and this one is so far feeling very flimsy compared to our other Cobra Commander. I mean, it's the same kind of flimsiness, but this one feels a bit more flimsy. Again, it's been in my car, so maybe that's why it's a bit more heated up. It's a bit hotter, so yeah, maybe that's why. But so far, everything is looking kind of legit. Again, I gotta go back and see what kind of accessories the original one came with and all that stuff. But with that being said, let's take a close look at the figure itself. Now, why is the head off? I'm having issues getting this to turn to be straight with the torso, because as it is there, it just kind of, just kind of looking off to the side, so I can only make them hinge up and down like so. It also gives me the opportunity to look at the head sculpt a bit more closely, and as you can see, we have a lot of paint defects, at least mine does. We have some red there, some gold there. I don't know if I can scratch that off. Maybe I can. And then this, I don't know if I can either, but you can see how it's not glued in correctly. No, just all around. It's just not sitting well on the head sculpt. So maybe I'll go in and try to detach this, because it is possible, and reattach it later on, and then I'll try to see if I can remove this. Alright, I was able to remove the helmet from the head sculpt itself. Tried to center it as best as I could. That's as best as I could. When I removed it, the whole, the head kind of has its own peg, and the helmet has the connection to that peg, and it was just molded super weird. It was all crooked and stuff inside. I tried my best to remove as much as I can, glue it back down the best way I could, and this is as best as I will be able to get. Still have some gap there. I can probably glue it onto there. I did glue these side pieces so that they're kind of matching, but not really. And it just overall looks a bit weird from the back, but he will be facing the front for the most part. I did try to reference, the other Cobra Commander as much as I could, but it's just a weird plastic use and all that stuff. It's kind of weird. I was able to remove that weird gold paint on the trim, on the rim of the helmet there. Not so much of a red paint he had on the face mask, so it just kind of... So I smeared, or I guess it's painted this color. So that's a bit unfortunate. I would have to go in there and paint this with this exact same color. But yeah, I mean, from a distance, still looks overall pretty okay. I also ended up breaking his fist, which is a bit unfortunate, but if you already have a Cobra Commander, I'm sure it will fit. But yeah, this was a super tight joint, not even warming it up helped, so yeah, there's that. I don't know if the black is painted on, which I think may be the case since there's some black spilling onto the gold here, but I'm gonna try and see if I can remove the red and that gold thing, and I may be able to just paint black on there. And even then, it's not less jet black. It looks, from my eye and my point of view, looks sort of a navy bluish, dark navy bluish. And hold on, let me see if I can. Maybe that lighting is better. Who knows? But yeah, it looks like a very dark navy blue kind of color, but you can see how off-center everything looks. Even these here are like off-center, where this should probably be lower like that. So I don't know, I might have to remove the top part of the helmet and then readjust it, and hopefully I can align it a bit better. But that being said, there's a few other things that kind of concern me here at the torso. When you bend in, it kind of is going to run into this little part of the mold of there, which I don't know if it's an issue we had with the first Cobra Commander. Seems to be there as well, so just be careful when you're crunching there. I mean, I didn't notice it because he has all these straps over here, so still the same there. And for the most part, the deco here looks relatively clean in my opinion. We have some cobras there in red, the gold chain, the collar there with a little bit of red going on to the cobra symbol. And then over here we get black on the red and so on and so forth. A lot of messiness with the paint overall. And then there's the back of it, which I did not know he had some more patterning on the back, but there you go. Looking rather clean as well for the most part. And we do have a cape here, which is held by these kind of elasticy pieces here, which is very nice. We do get the holster here for his pistol. We go down to the boots, and pretty nice and clean paint there. Some more detailing here on the side, looking pretty clean as well. You know, we get the patterning that we've seen with the original classified Commander. Again, some black, and yeah. So overall, he's just, the paint apps aren't all that great for the most part, and especially with the head sculpt. I think I got one of the worst looking ones out of everyone I've seen online. But you know, like I said, it's AliExpress. You don't know what you're gonna get. This Cobra symbol here, I think the paint has kind of missed the mark a bit. You know, it's kind of distorted there on the left side of the Cobra, or right side from our point of view, but there that is. You can see this one's on the left side this time. It's kind of missed the mark as well. Overall, yeah, paint apps is kind of a disappointment. So my theory is, because you know, some people have mentioned that AliExpress sellers have to mention whether the product they're selling are knockoffs or whether they're real. The one I bought it from did not mention it was a knockoff or anything, so I think there's a mix of both. There are both knockoffs and defects from Hasbro's factories, and that one particular seller I got this from has the defects from Hasbro. Now, it's also not far-fetched for a lot of sellers to be selling you know, knockoffs, real knockoffs, because, you know, over time somebody can have access to the body modes and start, you know, buying and reselling those modes. You know, they just paint them up and all that stuff. But again, it all comes down to the seller and what they have on their listing. I've seen a few sellers put up these figures, and in the description it says that they do not come with the box. So I think that's what really tells you whether they're a knockoff or not. If they do come with the box, then they are, you know, defects as some people were mentioning. And I think that's about as much as I've been able to, you know, come up as a real explanation. Because, you know, if people are able to get the clone body mold from the Black Series Star Wars and make knockoffs out of those molds, then, you know, it's only a matter of time before we see G.I.Joe as well with those knockoffs. And then, you know, here you go, the information on the foot, you know, which a lot of people see as a reference as being whether real or knockoffs. And here we have one, well, our original Cobra Commander. So there they are. You know, this white number is on his left, and then over here we have it on the right side. So yeah, there's the numbers. You can check up on that if that information kind of helps you. The reason I say it doesn't really matter is because even Clone Troopers, this is a knockoff from AliExpress. This is a real one from Hasbro. They both still have those numbers at the bottom. So, you know, it's kind of a thing that comes with the mold. And so it's really hard to say whether it's a knockoff or real. But I think in my case, this is a defect. And, you know, it's just strange to me that all of a sudden we're seeing these sellers put these up for sale after so long. You know, we've had, I don't know, what's it been, 2 years since this Cobra Commander came out? I think it's been 2 years or a year and a half or something. Gotta look that up. But yeah, I mean, that's as much as I have to say regarding this knockoff or, you know, Hasbro reject. One thing I forgot to look at was the cape, which it looks very nice. Get some Cobra emblems there. Very cool. You can remove this if you want, but I'm gonna keep it with him. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. For $18 or $20, I think it was, I don't think it's a bad deal what you're getting here. I do wish if the box was a bit in a better condition, just because I would like to keep it and display it, but that won't be too much of an issue for me. I mean, it's in rather okay shape, so I might still keep it. And then just putting our stuff on him just to see how he looks. No real storage for this, and I did drop the earth, so let me see if I can find it. So there we have it, the knockoff or Hasbro reject from AliExpress. Do I recommend it? I mean, that's up to you. This was about 20 bucks. You can go ahead and buy it. I know they also have the other light blue Cobra Commander up for sale. Different sellers have them. Again, just read the description of what you're buying. Some of them specifically say they are knockoffs, others say they are not, or don't mention anything of them being knockoffs other than it's Cobra Commander. With that being said, are you guys gonna buy these? Are you guys happy that we're able to get these harder to find and overall buy Cobra Commanders? I know this guy, the more legit version, goes for about $100 maybe, or probably even less, 80 or something. I know the lighter blue one I've seen go for 60 bucks or even 80. So, you know, it's a nice option other than a few paint apps that I kind of hate and I'm gonna have to kind of solve on my own. You know, it's a real risk with AliExpress. You may get a super good looking one, or at times you'll get one that looks completely trash. Mine, I only have the issue with the head sculpt, and that's about it. Other than that, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. With that being said, I'll see you guys in a future video.